Okay, Max Biel. Yes, born on the 22nd of December 1908 and died also in December in 1994. Was a Swiss architect, artist, painter, typeface designer, industrial designer, and graphic designer. Not bad. Renaissance man. Max Biel, the cult figure who shaped 20th century design and architecture. Now, this is a rather exalted, definition of him, but he was important. I don't know if he's, truly a cult figure, but he was important, yes. But I like very much what he said, and I really would have liked here to have a number of people who are responsible for the education in this country. It has become clear to us, Max Biel wrote, that beauty can no longer be developed out of function alone. Instead, the demand for beauty has to be set on the same level as a functional demand, since it is a function too. How true, how very true. You know, we think that function is that the function is everything, and that beauty is something, some kind of an accessory, something that comes like an afterthought. No, beauty has a function too, and I would say a major function, if not the most important function, because Dostoevsky wrote, beauty will save the world. He didn't say function will save the world. He said beauty will save the world. But of course, we could dismiss Dostoevsky because he was a so-called mere writer, no? Although he studied engineering. Let's read again, because I love this statement. It has become clear to us that beauty can no longer be developed out of function alone. Instead, the demand for beauty has to be set on the same level as a functional demand, since it is a function too. And the relationship between function and beauty is the same as between function and ornament. In fact, a book was written with the title, The Function of Ornament. I pronounced a word which is not even pronounced in some parts of the world, in some schools of architecture in the world. Here was the man. He was a modernist through and through. Hello, Mr. Biel. Happy birthday to you. He was almost, in fact, a one-man Bauhaus, a unifier of the arts and a believer in their power to be co-opted for social and political good. He was also early to recognize that designers, I quote, have to assume responsibility for all the new things created in the world. End of quotation. Again, I can only regret that there are no students here at all today. Building Ulm HFG, I don't know what. I guess it's a high school something. No, in German. It's actually this school it was a Bauhaus school. After the Bauhaus, ended in Germany, a new Bauhaus was built was started by Laszlo Moholy-Nagy in Chicago and by Max Biel in Ulm in Germany. And now we see some pictures of the buildings. I don't know if he had, specific architectural training. It's possible that he didn't. I also don't know, and I should have known, and I apologize, I don't know if he studied at the Bauhaus. It's possible that he did. But those people were very open-minded. If a man had talent and was serious, was responsible, and he had commissions, he was allowed to build. And Max Biel, as you can see, was responsible, was serious, and he built the Bauhaus school in Ulm. And we are looking at it right now. Now, this building maybe doesn't surprise us a lot, but it has qualities. It needs, reticence and even austerity. I think it has architectural qualities. a clock designed by Max Bill. We are going to see some other buildings by him, but now it's just an aide-memoire of some works by him. I should probably do a more developed presentation on him, but for the moment, this is what I have. The Pavilion Sculpture, 1983 in Zurich by Max Bill. It's this work that he did. It's more like, an installation, an urban installation, because he was really functioning between various fields, architecture, design, and for example, now we look at Ulmer Hacker, Ulmer's stool from 1954. He did also furniture design. It's maybe we are not very thrilled or surprised when we look at something like this, but it has a purity and, in its simplicity, I think it has its own poetry. Part of the work, Family of Five Half Balls in 1966 in Karlsruhe. It's a sculpture, Max Bill. I wish architects would do more art and artists would do more architecture. And even better, artists unite with architects and create works together. That would be even nicer. But with the bureaucracy in our country and with the separations that we cultivate so strongly, I don't think this will happen soon. A column with 3.6 angular cross sections from 1966 in Marl, in another sculpture. This one we already saw, but we see other picture. It's when we saw the building for the Ulm School, we would not easily expect this kind of artwork from him, because this is primal, is elemental, is but it shows that the man had artistic not just tendencies, artistic knowledge and artistic instincts and artistic outlook on everything he did. Design, sculpture, architecture, and we are going to see some more architecture. Picture column, tripartite group, 1989 in Stuttgart. Again, Max Bill. Einstein Monument from 1982 in Ulm. I think there is great potential in the collaboration between artists, architects, and so on. And I truly think architects could earn a lot. I'm not talking about monetary matters, but could earn a lot, even in self-confidence, if they allow their artistic side to express itself through sculptural works or painterly works, and so on. Endless Stairs, 1991. Max Bill. Fleck House, Odenthal. It's a house. It's a house, and you see this man who was clearly an artist, was also a very knowledgeable and sensitive architect who worked. This is not a naive building, and I like the fact that it's not. You see how the building was made. You see the making of the walls. And these brick walls, I think, have an inborn nobility because of the brick itself. I would never plaster the bricks. They should be allowed to be like this, although some way, I guess, to protect them, perhaps through the quality of the bricks themselves. I don't know. But if you look at this building and compare it to the house with the school we saw, we see that is the same kind of aesthetics. Although he talked eloquently about beauty, he was obviously quite capable to handle functions. I mean, this is a very functional plant. The truth is, with a little bit of common sense, maybe many people or some people could perform some architectural duties or tasks. The problem is, as Einstein said, nothing. No, as Frank Lloyd Wright said, nothing is as uncommon as common sense. These modernists, like Max Bill, also employed organic matter or natural material, something which at least the deconstructivists didn't do so often. Usually some of the star architects of today, especially if they, were active in the field of what was called deconstruction, often, or maybe at least sometimes, they rejected natural materials. But here we see Max Bill, a modernist, employing the brick both outside and inside, and I think convincingly. Here he is, Homo universalis. He was, I think many people perhaps have these dispositions or even abilities towards, some kind of so-called universalism. They just need to be encouraged, essentially, or in good part through playfulness. I think many people have so-called hobbies, but you could say, if I'm allowed to be sacrilegious almost, that Leonardo da Vinci was a man of many hobbies. In a way, he was an amateur all his life, and I'm talking about the quintessential genius of the Renaissance. No, and so the Homo universalis that Max Bill was, he was a man who was, doing sculpture, doing design, furniture design, a few houses. But excessive bureaucracy kills this. It just kills. An artist in our country, at least, cannot build, doesn't have the right to build, doesn't get the signatures. But, this lack of elemental freedom. Okay, well, maybe a painter cannot build, I don't know, a Hilton hotel with 40 floors and so on, or I don't know what kind of building of large dimensions, but a villa, a house, many people, I would say, could, and certainly a good artist with common sense. although as Wright said, nothing is as uncommon as common sense. College of Design in Ulm, which I already showed a picture of. And I like very much the windows here. You know, these are the building itself, its distribution, its articulation of masses and volumes is, you know, we have seen such buildings, but the windows, you know, most architects would not use this kind of window, would not divide it in smaller segments. And I think the charm of the building derives, and also the fact that it's the wood, you know, naturally looking wood, and this division of the large window into smaller parts, I think is very effective, and it humanizes an otherwise, you know, potentially a cold building. As we can see, the artist Max Bill was also a very rational man. He was able to conceptualize, so to speak, the architecture of a building in very convincing, you know, logical, rational terms. He was not a capricious, wild man. Although, I mean, even in his art, he was not, you know, Dionysian. No, there is a sense of equilibrium, of measure. But to me, it is uplifting to see the case of a man who practiced various arts. And, you know, I think we need more such men, you know, such people, not just men, women as well. Brick here again, you know, yes, painted in white, but it matters, you know, it matters. Wood at the windows and brick here, it matters. Even if nothing is displayed on it, it still has a vibration, you know, a discrete vibration, which is important. Even the concrete, you know, unkept as it is, has a so-called vibration. Anyway, so this is the college in Ulm, built by Max Bill. Will arrive now very soon to, in a few minutes, if not sooner, to a very different kind of architect, Joseph Maria Olbrich. Max Bill in Germany, but he was Swiss. You see, even the plan has a certain playfulness here. You know, these buildings almost begin to dance a little bit together, to hold hands, so to speak. And being a sculptor helped, of course, you know, because a sculptor and a painter and people who are involved with art do have, you know, the necessary aptitudes to also build in an artistic way. No, I should avoid the word artistic. To build in a sensitive way, in a way which is not, you know, provocative in a negative way to the eye.